Hi guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to another live. So everyone wants to hear about Courtney, and I do have another one that I really want to talk about with Juliana, so we might actually do like a half-half, if that's alright. Okay. I need to turn off my notifications. Alright, we're on Do Not Disturb. Hey. Juliana, yes. I feel like she's a bit on the boring side as well right now. I think it's more like it's the same old song and dance, you know what I mean? I've heard it all before. Brett's a butthole. We hate him. You know, that stuff. There are so many of her lives, though, that I would love to go back through and rehash. Like that one where she was really, really mean to Brett. Like that first one that was like the eye-opener. I have a heap that are on there that are saved that I'd really love to go back. They're meant to be together right now. But I feel like they're just fighting all the time. She's like, oh, my kids never know when we're arguing. Girl, we watch you argue with him on live in front of people. Like, don't tell me that your kids are not affected by it. Because people were like asking her. There was a live she did the other night. We'll talk about that. Because there was actually one that she did that I thought we'd put at the end of this live. And that was where she was talking about how she got caught drug dealing and how she had like a heap of pills on her or whatever. So I did record like a fair chunk of it I think it was like maybe a week ago or something, but Courtney's just been so off a rocker that I haven't really had a chance to address it. She knows she fucked up that night with Cecilia and she's nervous being on her best behaviour. Which night was that with Cecilia? Do you mean? I don't know which one you mean. I mean, there's been that many things that happened. Like the other day she had the kids and I started recording afterwards. I really need to have this chair oiled, man. Sorry, I don't know why that's cutting in and out. They're married and they're always together. They just cheat on each other. Yeah, that's right. She was wasted and told her she was killing her buzz. Oh, yeah, that one. When she said he sniffed her undies. That's what I mean. Like, there are so many, I don't know which one you're actually referring to. There's been a few. Like, there's the undie one. There's, like, you're killing my buzz. Shut your trap, Cecilia, when she was like, shut your trap. We really do need to go back over those. Honestly, there has been so many. Yeah, like half of them I'm like, oh, have I even uploaded that one? Because I've been trying to put them all on Ko-Fi, but they just keep coming. Like Courtney's just like bang, 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 one thing after the other. And so Juliana's kind of been put on the back burner because we know there's always going to be drama there. There'll always be drama there, so we can always come back to it. But like, yesterday I watched a live. I turned it on, she kind of got boring, but it was late at night for me and I was like, sleep or listen to this crap. And I chose sleep, so, but she was like telling the kids to get outside and then she put them outside and then she locked the door. And I think Cecilia was like, why are you locking the door? Yeah, same old shit with Juliana. Like now it's kind of like, okay, like before it was like, we know you're fake. Let's expose that. We found this, we found that. And now like she's come out and she's like, yeah, this is who I am. And we're all just like, Has anyone seen the dog, by the way? The new dog? Has anyone seen that? Because I have not seen it at all on her story or her lives. Nothing about the dog. Like I know when she first got the dog, she didn't post about it. Like, normally she put a big post up and would be like, oh, this is our new baby or whatever she does. But I mean, now she knows people are going to come for her. She said she stopped sharing her dogs. Yeah, she got another dog, like, was it 3 weeks ago? It's a pit bull. I feel like people ask about their... Yeah, she just ignores the comment. I'm sure it's gone. It's definitely gone. because she'd be doing something at least with it. Yeah. People are always asking because they're like, well, and it makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, she's up to like a 15th dog or something. I kind of feel like if you display that behaviour here and, like, you were reported to RSPCA or any of those organisations, they would actually take you to court. Like, you'd have a ban on you for getting animals. Like, you wouldn't be allowed to acquire any more animals. But anyway, we'll get on to her in a bit. I'm sure she'll go live and give us even more stuff. Haven't seen anything from Courtney live-wise. Like, yes, this is a replay from February the 8th, which I think it's the 8th. Is it the 8th? Okay, so it's probably the wrong date for you guys because you guys are like a day behind me. It's the 9th here now. So maybe it was like the 7th in your time, but it was the 8th my time. And she claims that money in the first place. Yeah. Alright, so this is, I upload onto Ko-Fi. If you want to see the whole thing, it is on Ko-Fi. But this is the one that I told you guys about where she's chewing on that nail. Like, I know you all seen it in the other video. Yeah, I think it was the 7th. Yeah, it would have been the 7th then. Sorry. Whenever I write a date, just take it as the date before because I literally write down the date that I saved it to my phone. So it's the best way. I must, everyone says to me, they're like, oh, your voice, like, puts me to sleep. I wish I put my kids to sleep. Anyways, let's start playing it. I'm going to try and get, because if you've seen, I uploaded part 1 yesterday. There is, like, of yesterday's. So I uploaded it after I was done. And my aim is to, like, edit another 45 minutes and have it posted tonight. And by the next night, I'll have them all posted. But I'm just trying to edit them because at the top, you know, when I'm recording right now, it all looks perfect. But then I have, like, I'll get a notification that I can't shut off because I've got Instagram open, and so, like, the things come down. Obviously, I want to keep everybody anonymous. Even if it just comes down with their name, I don't want to expose their usernames on YouTube. So we're thinking of maybe moving it down, like putting... Sorry, I don't know why it's pausing. We're thinking about just moving it down, like putting the logo next to it or something. Yeah, sucking on her nail. If you see this one, it's way worse. So I just want to also give a reminder right now that obviously there is a chance that this video will go onto YouTube. So if you don't want anyone to see your comments or your username, probably switch out and switch onto a troll account or something like that before we get started, because I don't want to obviously be responsible for any of the comments getting blasted or anything like that, because I mean, we're talking about Courtney here and we know what she's capable of, but like I feel like it's so much better when we have other people on here interacting and asking questions, because sometimes there's things I forget. You guys remind me and I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. So anyway, we'll start the video. As I said, there are so many TikToks I want to make. Like, there was things yesterday. I want to, like, there was a thing, you know, with all the contradicting, I guess, is what I would like to make a video of, because she'll say one thing's not good for someone else, but then she'll do it in the same breath. Like, she'll be like, I don't know, you know, acting out after a breakup is not okay, and then you see her, like, going, "Rah," you know. Anyway, let's play it. This is, like, more about her high school stuff. There's a couple of comments about Hale.
Well, can you close it now? Because now it's open. Easy. And they like to chase each other and they'll knock stuff over, okay, sweetie?
So this is what I was talking about yesterday. If you listen to her, she is so nice to Shiloh in this. She's like, okay, sweetie, this and that. But she's like, and like, we've never seen this before, because usually, you know, she's always like yelling at Shiloh on lives. I think the only time I've ever seen her on a live where Shiloh has tried to interact with her before this one was one time when Hale and Courtney were live, and Shiloh came in with a picture and Courtney was like, oh, that's really nice, and she was being really lovely to her. But I have probably seen at least 5 or 6 lives where she has screamed at Charlotte. Sorry, it keeps coming out with poor connection. I don't know why. But anyway, like I said, it's probably been like 5 or 6 times where she's just screamed at Shiloh that we've seen. So there was a couple, I think, one was like, there was a heap about Mel, and every time Shiloh would come in to like comfort her, she'd be like, get in your room, like get out, I told you, I'm not going to say it again. And like, she would scream at it on a live, and her followers would not say anything. None of them said anything. It used to bug me so bad. It's because she's been seeing all of us comment about what a terrible effing mother she is, and now she's trying to act like Mother Teresa. I kind of agree. Like that last time when she was being like polite to Shiloh, I knew it was because Hale was there, and it was like that show for Hale. But I mean, like, she's never really ever tried to hide it before. Like, she's openly yelled at Shiloh in front of friends and family and stuff like that. Sorry, guys. So, I don't know, like, you probably remember that time she was talking about, like, the pages and this is so funny because she was, like, talking about how, you know, the pages were putting all the business out there about what happened between her and Mel, and she's going to get herself, and how the page was going to get her killed. And this is literally, like, just a couple of months after she had joined the page and then asked me to post all that stuff about Mel. So she was happy for me to post all that stuff about Mel, which obviously came from her, and she made it known that it came from her. Like she said, and this is what he did to me, and that's what he did to me, and you can share this and you can share that, and I want you to put this up here. And so I did all of that. I shared all of that stuff. But then as the second we were like replaying stuff that she said that she didn't ask us to post, that was like showing like the true nature of her, she was like, that page is gonna get me killed, like, are you trying to get me murdered, and all this stuff. And it was like, no, like, we're literally sharing the exact same stuff as what you asked us to share before. So it's like, you know, she only wants to show one side of that. So who is Charlotte's real baby daddy? Because somebody commented earlier saying that her husband was not it. Yeah, that's actually a good question. That's actually a really good question. So, Courtney, we don't know. It has to be one of these people, because she talks about all the people from high school, and then she was dating Terry last after school or during high school, and she's like, you know, I can sleep with everyone on both hands. And she names 8 people in this live, and that 8 people didn't include Hale or Mel. So that's all the people. So it has to be one of these guys that is Shiloh's baby daddy, if that was the case. I apologise that it is pausing, guys. I keep looking down and saying that it's paused. I'm not sure why that's happening. I'll sort that out. I might have to ring out internet people. The internet's been really shocking around here lately. It's saying it's on full, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah. Anyways, I thought that was worth noting, like, how she's acting in these lives towards Shiloh. And I actually wonder if maybe she's a little bit terrified that her behaviour that she's been displaying over the last couple of weeks is going to make her, like, people are going to see that and be like, oh my God, she's a terrible mother, she's unstable, she should not have Shiloh, which, I mean, we've been saying that for quite a while now. But I think this is more of a, like, covering her butt, because, like, she's never really tried to act this way towards Shiloh beforehand. And she does, like, you know, she knows all of these videos are getting recorded and they're getting posted, so she's like, okay, now's the time to put on a big show, because now, you know, nothing can be used against her here. Like, if she was on her live like she did last time and Charlotte came in, she was like, get out of my room, like, I told you, get out of my room, shut the door, like, out, you know, or just kept cutting her off sharply, then I would say someone would look at that and go, okay, well, she's got all these things going on in her life and she seems to be putting a child on the back burner, and it would look poorly on her, especially if it went to court and, like, Hale's trying to get some sort of custody, you know?
Okay. You don't have to put a shirt on. You can put a pajama shirt on if you want. I have never used lashes. I love the look of them on people. Well, y'all seen when I did my lashes the other day and people were like, how'd you put them on so quick? I literally just...
So, is she a junkie? I'm new to Courtney, so I don't really know her story. This internet is driving me wild. I'm so sorry. But she seems like a junkie. I don't believe so. Like Hale said, he's never seen her do any drugs. Obviously, we know she smokes a bit of weed, but that's pretty much it. I think it's all just, it's honestly mental issues. But I mean, it's a fair question. My husband said the same thing. He's like, okay, like what drug is she on? And I said, she's not. And he's like, nah, no one acts like that. So it's obviously like really severe mental health issues, and she just cannot grasp what the issue is.
Just stick them on there. Just do it. Like, you've got to get over that hump first. Like, you've got to get over the fear of like, am I going to do this right? And you just have to commit to it. Just say, I'm going to put this on. And then just...
So who, out of all of you guys, who has to commit to the fear of putting fake lashes on? Is there a fear associated with that? Because if there was, I'm sure Caitlin would have claimed it by now. So I don't believe that's a thing. But, I mean, everything is so dramatic.
Put it on. What helps, though, is, like, put the glue on the band, stick it in the middle first where you want it to be, and then adjust the corners. And you gotta let it dry a little bit. So, like, I'll put the glue on my lashes, right, on the lash band, and then I'll put them on the counter and I'll do my mascara and curling my lashes while I let it kind of get tacky. And then once it gets to the point where it's, like, almost sticking but not quite, I'll stick it on. Because then I can kind of adjust it. It makes it so much easier. So much easier. And if you're really worried about it, use tweezers. Like, use tweezers and grab the lash, like, right here.
She just grabbed it and literally, like, it pulled off. Like, you know how when you put lashes on, have you been using them too many times? And they don't actually stick to, like, the inside of your eyelid. Like, you know, in the corner of your eye there. And she went to, like, touch it and it just fell off.
You see how this is starting to come up? Just take it with your tweezers and just go boop. Tweezers were a lifesaver when I was learning how to do them, and then once I figured out how to do them, obviously now I have nails on, so I'm not sure about that. What?
Oh, I want to hang out with you.
Did you eat your dinner?
Well, it's already cold.
Yeah, you need to eat your dinner, sweetie.
She almost forgot because she just looked at her just like, what? You need to eat your dinner, sweetie. Oh, whoops.
Otherwise, the dogs are going to eat it off the table, and I'm not making you another one if you're not watching your dinner. It's probably cooled now, though, sweetie. It sat for a little bit, so you should be okay. And then let me know when you're done with your dinner, and I'll play Mario Kart with you. Yeah, I've worn these like 12 times.
Like, you can honestly tell they've been worn 12 times because of the way they're lifting on the inside.
I am really picky about my lashes, though. So when I do my lashes and I take them off at the end of the night, I go through and I pull off all the glue on my lash. That way it's not, like, clumpy and, like, nasty. Lash glue eyeliner. Have you seen that one on TikTok that's going viral? It's like a pen that she, like, draws, and now she has, like, a neon pink one and stuff. I've been really interested to try that one. But I buy a 4-pack or a 5-pack, something like that, of these guys. You can get them at the dollar store, you can get them at Walgreens, you can get them at Target, Walmart. They're usually... The 5-pack is like $20, but the 1-pack is $12. And you can usually use them up to 12-ish times. Sometimes I'll wear these until the band is, like, literally falling apart, and then I'll throw it away. Yeah, they have a legit... Look it up on TikTok. Like, just go swiping through TikTok, and it's, like, one of the, like, small business ones. But it's, yeah, that's what these are. They're House of Lashes and Eye Lure like collaboration. But it's like a pen. It's like you know how Kat Von D's liner, like eyeliner, is a pen, like a felt tip? It's like that. And she makes them in different colors now. It used to be just black and white and clear, but now she makes it in like neon pink. I think she's even done neon green, if I can remember correctly. So like you can literally just draw your eyeliner on and then slap the lash on your eyeliner. Genius. That woman is so smart. Like, what? I love you. You should get a juice box or something to drink too, in case it's a little hot.
She's like talking to her, but she keeps like glancing back at the camera. There's actually a part in there where she's like explaining something to Shiloh, and she's using her hands and like looking. She keeps like glancing over to her screen, and Shiloh's not even in the same room. Like Shiloh can't even see it. So like, who are you displaying that for?
Oh, okay. We live in too safe of a neighborhood for that to be gunshots, but every once in a while, because I'm from Norfolk, I still pause. It's gotta be something chopping wood or something like that, but every once in a while I'm like, PTSD. Isn't she? She's so freaking smart.
Here it comes.
She's so smart. Like, I'm gonna be in trouble when she's a teenager. She's gonna get away with so much, and I'm gonna have no clue. She also, like, name dropped my ex the other day, which I thought was really funny. Apparently, my dad was like, something about, like, oh yeah, I remember Hale and Mom aren't together, or something like that. Like, said something about Hale. And she goes, who? My dad said Hale, and she goes, who?
Does this story not make sense to anyone? Because she says that her dad said something about how Hale and Mum aren't together anymore, and she said who? So what was Shiloh saying? Like, obviously Shiloh was talking about Hale, for the dad to say, well, Hale and Mum aren't together anymore. So it doesn't make any sense that she was saying who. Like, it really doesn't make sense, yeah. And then everybody clapped. Good story, Courtney. Next time, try harder.
Oh, she's just like me. I know. I think the last picture I legitimately had of you guys was when you were pregnant with Ethan. Jumps into my car and is like laying in the van. I'm like, get out of my van. I have to close the door. Like,
so sorry, it just skipped a bit because it was like a section was paused, but she's telling a story now.
Oh God, that was just oh God, these memories though, like, so crazy. High school was such a trip. Such a freaking trip. Yes, some random girl jumped in my van after all the boys jumped in, and I was like, I don't know you. Like, I'm not taking you anywhere. Get out. Like, go.
Alright, I just realised that when I uploaded all of the clips, I fucking did them back to front. So we're going to probably hear the story back to front, which is going to suck. So we'll just have to listen to them as each clip comes in.
Go find your friends.
But we'll hear it all.
Jesus, it was so crazy. Or like one time we went to a Maury Granby basketball game, and Emily Butler and I had taken my dad's Grey Goose from his liquor cabinet and put it in a water bottle, like just a Deer Park water bottle. And when we got dropped off, I guess. No, my mom drove us. And she was like, I'll pick you up after the game. We were like, okay. So we're there. Emily gets obliterated. Absolutely obliterated at this game. And I'm like, Emily, remember when we get in the car, sit in the back, don't say anything, right? Like, just keep quiet until we get back to my house. She was like, okay. So my mom comes to pick us up, Emily literally immediately hops in the front seat and is like, hey, Miss Shelley, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, she's gonna know you're drunk.
So someone just said, I'm late to the game. Where is Shiloh's dad? Why hasn't he taken her? And then he said, Carolyn said, I'm pretty sure he signed over his parental rights. Poor thing, Hale's the best thing ever happened to him. Oh, absolutely. So yesterday she was actually on a live and she was saying that he wasn't actually the bio dad. He just was raising her as his own. But I mean, they broke up when Shiloh actually shares a birthday with my youngest child. Like, they have the exact same birthday. So I mean, her and Hale have been together for nearly 2 years. I mean, they were probably together for like the first 2 years of Shiloh's life, but it's the same situation. Like, she was really toxic. She was like using like Shiloh to get to him and stuff like that, but apparently he isn't the bio dad either. So I feel like maybe for him it was a little bit easier to walk away. I'm not saying that it should be easy to walk away because they're not like biological children, but if you bring in all the factors and you've got someone here that's like, you either, you know, sign away your rights or like, I don't know, like just the way it went down. Like, he was having loads of issues with Courtney. It was kind of like where Hale's at now with Courtney. She was claiming he was abusive, that his family, and she still talks about his family and stuff, how crazy all his family was and stuff like that. So Hale's saying he is the bio dad. So that's, I don't know, that's weird. She said on her live that Terry was actually not the bio dad, but he raised this pausing from the connection's really bad. She said yesterday on the live that he wasn't the bio dad. That he just raised her as her own. But like, who knows at this point? Like, I don't think she even knows. But I mean, it has to be one of these people in this thing that she talks about. She looks similar to his mother. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Did she ever say to you that he wasn't the bio dad? Like, it's so weird for her to come out and then say all this stuff. You know, it just doesn't make any sense that she would come out now and be like, oh no, he wasn't the bio dad. He claimed he wasn't the dad because he wasn't getting full custody. Oh. Right, well, according to someone that was watching the live yesterday, she had said Terry actually wasn't the biological father and that it was someone else's that he was with before him and he just raised the baby as his. But, I mean, who knows? That she said that's how she got the custody in yesterday's thing, because she found a loophole because he wasn't the bio dad, so she was able to get him to, she was able to terminate his rights. But, I mean, she always told people that she terminated, that he signed off his rights, so who knows? It's very confusing. She's telling a lot of different stories here. Maybe because I've never seen him, but Charlie looks like Courtney made her completely alone to me. Charlie's Courtney's twin. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. I mean, Courtney's probably just making it up at this point. Who knows? Like, I don't think she even knows what is real and what's not real at this point.
God, oh. Or, like, we went to a house party one time and there was a shooting, and I remember, like, everybody fled the house, and we couldn't find my car right away, so Emily literally grabs me, and, like, we jumped underneath somebody else's car, and we're laying underneath somebody else's car while everyone was running up and down the street, and, like, the cops just drove by us, and we got out from under the car and walked our happy asses back to the van. Oh, I forget about these memories sometime, and I'm just like, wow. Like, okay, I don't know if I should say this. I don't know if this is gonna get me in trouble or not. 3 of the baseball boys. One of them being Jamie. Yes. Or like hiding in the bathrooms, and everyone would be like, shh, shh. funny. Oh, there'd be like 18 people in one bathroom, and you'd all be like with the lights off, like, shut up, don't let him hear you. Crazy. I'm like,
So I really messed up when I put this video back to front, but she talks about how when she first went to the school, everyone hated her because she was in, like, the story is very strange. She was in a chemistry class or some class with this Jamie guy, and she was new to the class, and she was flirting with him all through the lesson, and then she went to the next lesson, and they were like, oh my God, he has a girlfriend, and that everybody hated her because of this. And she's like, I didn't know he had a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. But she found out that next class. But then later on, she talks about how she was sleeping with this Jamie guy and stuff like that. And then she was sleeping with all these other people, like, on the DL. So the story doesn't really line up. So it sounds to me like she may have hooked up with this Jamie guy while he had a girlfriend. It's just the way it comes across. I don't know. Her stories are just so hard to work out what part is real and what part's not.
Still shocked I'm alive, to be honest. Like, so many times, like, blacked out in front of Emily's house, in front of the golf course. Crazy. I literally had no regard for my life. I don't know how I'm still alive. But yeah, that was insane. Well, I mean, it was very public with Jamie, because then right after Jamie started talking to Mia, and I remember it was a huge problem with Mia because he was still trying to, like, hit me up. And I, like, told Mia about it, and then Mia and Asta were, like, sat down with me at lunch and were, like, talking to me about it, and I was like, yeah, he's not a good guy, like, he's not...
It's like a tagline. He's not a good guy.
Yeah, I've slept with Jamie. I slept with... Oh God, I don't know if I want to say this, but I do at the same time because it's so crazy to me. Nobody knows about this one. So y'all gotta keep this on the DL. Or if you ever see him, you can, like, make a joke about it, I guess. But I definitely slept with John Paxson too. Definitely slept with him. That was interesting. Let's see. I can't remember if, like, I actually slept with him or if we were just hanging out one day. But, God, what's his name? Sullivan? No. Craig. Nothing, Shy. I wasn't talking to you, sweetie.
It weirds me out how you guys say Craig. Craig. Is that Greg or is that Craig? It sounds like you're saying Craig. It's so weird. So why is she talking about everyone that she slept with? Weird flex. I know, especially, I don't know, this Emily girl is on her live. She's like one of the couple of people that actually watch it. Yeah, that's how we say, that's how we say Craig. Craig. And I feel like she says, we say Craig, and then I know Greg is a different name, but it sounds like she's saying Craig, like Creg. Craig. Like we say Craig. So it weirds me out when I hear that. I'm like, what did she say?
This is crazy to me. I'm like airing all my dirty...
That's what it sounds like, Carolyn. Craig.
Laundry at this point. Like, wow. I was the girl that nobody wanted to tell people about. Yeah.
We're like aliens over here, like Chihuahua, and you guys like Chihuahua. Chihuahua?
Yeah, almost.
Mirror.
I did not tell people about a lot of stuff I was doing because everyone was like, oh, she's a hoe, but it was so on the DL that, like, nobody really knew about it.
So imagine if they actually knew about it. If it was on the DL and everyone was calling her a hoe and saying she's a hoe, and they were right. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really hoe. Like, I literally can count everyone that I've slept with on two hands. But, yeah.
Who's writing down these names? Because I think I counted 10 exactly. So she's obviously gone through high school, and then it's just been Mel and Hale.
Jesus Christ.
Because Def's not on the DL.
Interesting times, high school. Very interesting times. Emily was also definitely a peer pressure. Definitely peer pressured me. And I had zero self-control, so of course I did.
Oh, nothing's changed.
I remember sleeping with Alex King.
Yeah, she said 2 hands. So I counted 7 when I listened to this. I counted 7 when she went through it the second time. Or was it 8? No, I counted 8 that were in high school. 7. And then there was Terry, which was the 8th person, and there was the other, obviously, Hale and Mel. I'm sure there's people in between that, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yes! Yeah, I did. But it was, okay, when Craig was single, because I think he and Skylar had just broken up.
Oh, that makes it okay. Then they just broke up, so it's fine. Oh, it makes me laugh.
And JP, I don't ever really remember him dating anyone really. I remember him dating somebody shortly before I got there, but afterwards I don't remember if he had a serious relationship or not. So I have a feeling that this was a time when he was in between relationships.
Also, she says that Craig guy. She's like, I can't remember if we just hung out or if I actually slept with him. Sorry, what? How do you not know? What?
But Alex King, definitely slept with
Victims.
him. I slept with Brandon Worthington, and that's my biggest regret.
That's so gross, what she's doing. So she's going bleh, and putting her fingers in her throat about that guy. And it's not the first time she speaks about him like that. I am sure that guy probably, if not all of them, feels exactly the same way, but he's just not on a live telling everybody about it. I can see gossiping about this with a couple of girlfriends after getting drunk at someone's house, but not posting on live. Exactly. How old is she? Because talking about guys she slept with 10 years ago isn't funny or cute. Her tone is just showing big red flags. How old is she? I think she's 25 or is she 28? Because she literally named 8 guys she slept with in high school. So, unless it just came to a fucking almighty screeching halt, I'm not believing the both hands thing. That is a lie. This is actually humiliating. Why is she telling all this? She's 28. So she slept with 8 people in high school and then only slept with 2 people in 8 years? Meh. Is this supposed to make Hale jealous by listing all the people she's had sex with? I think so. I don't know. Fucking really, does anyone know what goes on in her head? Who knows? But yeah, I'm sure. Has anyone listened? Okay, hold the phone. I'm going a few people after high school. Okay, let me get my pen. I'm gonna write them down. Let's write them down. Why can't I find a pen? Bloody hell. Oh, here we go. Crayon will work. Mum life. Oh, what's this? Oh, fuck. Yep. Pen and paper. Let's write a letter. I'm gonna write a list. Right. How far back do we have to go? Yeah, you can find a pen in Courtney's purse. Can I borrow that pen, Courtney? All right, hold on. Let's go back. Sorry to have to replay this.
I wanted to tell people about. Yeah, almost.
Wait.
Definitely slept with him.
So we had Jamie.
Yeah, I've slept with Jamie.
We know.
I slept with. Oh God, I don't know if I want to say this, but I do at the same time because it's so crazy.
Say it, ho.
Nobody knows about this one.
Alex
so y'all
King.
gonna keep this on the DL. or if you ever see him, you can like make a joke about it, I guess. But I definitely
slept with
Paxton too.
John Paxton? We should look these guys up on Facebook.
Definitely slept with him.
Be like, ew!
That was interesting.
Brandon, the one she gagged.
I can't remember if like I actually slept with him or if we were just hanging out one day. But God, what's his name? Sullivan? No. Craig. Nothing shy. I wasn't talking to you, see.
Craig.
This is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm like airing all my dirty laundry.
Nothing, Charlotte. I wasn't talking to you. I'm just screaming out the names of my ex-lovers.
At this point, like, wow. I was the girl that nobody wanted to tell people about.
Oh! Why would you tell people that? Why would you say that out loud? That's so embarrassing. Babe.
Yeah, almost. I did not tell people about a lot of stuff I was doing because everyone was like, oh, she's a hoe, but it was so on the DL that like nobody really knew about it. And I didn't really hoe. Like, I literally can count everyone that I've slept with on 2 hands, but...
We're up to 1 hand.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Interesting times, high school. Very interesting times. Emily was also definitely a peer pressure. Definitely peer pressured me. And I had 0 self-control, so of course I did. I remember sleeping with Alex King.
Oh, we got Alex King.
Yes. Yeah, I did. But it was, okay. But it was when Craig was single. Because I think he and Skylar had just broken up. And JP, I don't ever really remember, like, him dating anyone, really. Like, I remember him dating somebody shortly before I got there, but afterwards, I don't remember if he had, like, a serious relationship or not. So I have a feeling that this was, like, a time when he was, like, in between relationships.
So it wasn't the entire football team, it was just the entire baseball team, okay?
But Alex King, definitely slept with him. I slept with Brandon Worthington, and that's my biggest regret.
Worthington.
Not anything against him, but like, why, Courtney? You let yourself go so low. Yeah.
So far, what was Craig's last name? It was Sullivan, right? So far, she has blasted Jamie, Alex King, John Paxton, a.k.a. JP, Brandon Worthington, and Craig Sullivan. You poor souls.
That's so funny. Not a lot of people really...
No, Brookie, it's Craig. Wait to see her and Craig are okay because him and Skylar broke up, but how living his ex with Courtney isn't okay. Exactly.
You know, like, because no one really knew me, and like, most surprised by who?
Craig.
I feel like everyone knew about Alex King though, because like, me and Alex, he used to pick us up from...
And because it's Craig, all I can think of is like, have you guys, I don't know if you have this book over there, but there's like a cartoon character and his name's Grug, right? And it's like this little hairy man. It's spelled like Grug, but it was like a book when I was little. And they made like a cartoon series out of it. And that's who I picture her sleeping with, which is fucked.
School, me and Devin and Cam. We would like have smoke sessions at his house all the time. Oh, God. Biggest regret. I definitely lowered my standards with that one.
So
and I think it was because I was kind of, like, borderline friends with Amber. So I went over to, like, hang out with Amber and him. I can't. Like, I think back to these times and I'm like, what the hell was I doing? Very interesting. Chosen Vintage. I love your store. Where'd they go? Chosen Vintage is a good vintage store out here. Amber Worthington. So Amber was like maybe, I think she graduated like the same year as Alex King did.
Wait, it says Amber Worthington. So is that Brendan's sister? And she was going over to hang out with Amber and she slept with her brother? Sorry, just paused again. Yeah, Amber Worthington. Did she not just say Brandon Worthington? She's like, that's why she was with Brandon. Who goes and hangs out with a chick and then sleeps with their brother? What? Really? I thought that was like girl code. Like, you do not sleep with your friends' brothers.
I don't know if she really was like around people much though. Like our age. I remember at one point David Durensky was talking to me about like hanging out, but I didn't like take him seriously on it because I was like, you're probably just fucking with me because I have the baseball boys.
Where did she say she was before? So someone just said she moved to high school from Texas, so maybe she went to high school in Texas. We don't know how coconut code works though, Mandy. Yeah, coconut code is something else. It is something else. I think she said at the start of this live where she was from. She said Norfolk or North something. I can't even remember. But she did say about how she thought she heard a gunshot and she was like, I forget that that's not where I'm from anymore or something. I didn't get with my friend's brother, but I did marry her brother's best friend. Wait, what again? Let me just add that up in my head. I didn't get with my best friend's brother, but I did marry her brother's best friend. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. That's what we do. Is that not what we do? Like, I remember how many of my friends, like, they would like a guy and they would start dating that guy and have a best friend. I'd be like, oh, he's cute. Why not? And we do that all the time. None of those situations ended up well, though, because none of my friends had good taste. So it was pretty fucked. But, I mean, that's what you do. You hang out with... You get to spend more time with your bestie. And, yeah, we did that all the time. That's fine.
Or, like, trying to flirt with me and stuff. So I didn't go for that. But... And also, like, Emily had, like, this, like, secret little thing where, like, she kind of liked him but kind of didn't. And then she got with Ike. And so... The first time Ike spoke, too, I looked at her and I was like... This.
So now we're going to shame guys that have high-pitched voices in high school. Okay. I only slept with my husband in high school and we got engaged when I was 19. Ike from Mike and Ike, I don't know. Is it short for Isaac or that's an actual fucking name? I hope it's short for something. Can you imagine being one of these people seeing the TWT video on YouTube and your name being dropped by Coconut while she discusses her high school life? I know. I really, like, on the DL, like, as DL as Courtney sleeping with all these people in high school, I want someone to send it to them. Not even low-key. My little sister slept with her best friend's brother multiple times. Her best friend still doesn't know. But I guess, to be fair, she was friends with the brother before the sister. There's a reason why she didn't tell the sister. Okay? That's the code. I'm sorry, short for what? Isaac. Isaac. You know, like, not Sack. What? Isaac. What? How do you say it? What do you mean? Isaac. Like, Kale of Teen Mum's kid. That's Isaac? No? What the fuck do you say? Or do you pronounce it two I's? Are you like, Isaac? Isaac? Isaac. What? No, I'm done. You're fucked.
This is who you like. Like, his voice in high school was so high. It was so high-pitched. I remember looking at her and being like, Girl.
I slept with my best friend's brother. Now we're better best friends than her and I, and she still doesn't know. Oh my God. Isaac. Craig. I'm telling you, it's fucking weird. Isaac. Craig. Not Craig. Craig.
Girl, what?
We got a heap of, like, closet brotherfuckers in here or something. I slept with a guy I was talking to his brother by accident. I didn't know they were brothers. Oh, my God. I will tell you a funny story, okay? I had this friend that I used to go to, like, high school with, okay? And she was, like, I don't know how to explain her, but it was, like, she started school and she was kind of, like, awkward, but really pretty. Like, such a pretty girl. She was, like, really pretty, beautiful body, but you could not take her anywhere. Like, she was a fucking hoe. Like, if you were to leave her, like, I loved her, right? But, like, if you were to leave her in a room with a guy for, like, 10 minutes, you would come back and she'd have a shirt off. Like, she would be straddling him, right? Like, you would have to, she was like a dog on heat. You could not keep her. Oh, she was terrible. Anyway, I mean, good for her, right? But she was like one of those people, like, you know, you can dress them up, but you can't take them out because they have, like, they just say the most inappropriate things. They just terrible. Like, every person we ever introduced her to absolutely could not stand her because she was just, like, just would say things that were so bad. All right. Anyway, this one time she was seeing this new guy and she's like, oh my God, like, I met this guy. His name was Ben. He's so nice. Like, I hooked up with him on the weekend. And she said, I met his parents and everything, like, on the Sunday, like, she'd met his parents. Anyway, they were like, she hadn't seen him for, like, that week because they were busy moving or something. I don't know what it was. But it was, like, the next weekend. No, it was moving. It was definitely moving because this is my story. But then the next weekend, she went out and he was like, hey, like, he was busy or whatever. And she was like, oh, well, screw him. Like, so she went out, got drunk, hooked up with this guy that was, like, around the same age, you would think. And then she went back and she slept with him, but she stayed over the night at his house. And in the morning she got up and she had a shower and she went out and the same parents were sitting at the fucking, like, at the kitchen table. Like, the same parents. They had literally moved in that week and she'd slept with one brother the week before and she'd only been with him, like, there was no relationship. Like, she just slept with him. And then the next weekend went to their new house, not realising because they'd moved, and slept with the brother, and then came out and there was the same mum and dad at the table. And they were like, hi, because she'd literally met the same people the week before. Like, and she said they looked at her like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and she didn't say anything, but then she never went back to either of them. She was like, fuck that. Him and I still talked after I slept with his brother, and we ended up being friends with benefits for a while. Then I slept with his best friend. I was wild. I've definitely slept with best friends before, but it was after we broke up, and I was like, in your face, bitch. That was really mean, though. But I don't condone that, but I did it.
Oh, so funny. Granby was a trip, man. It was a trip. I remember one time I drove,
I can't even tell you how many times we've had friends that have done this same shit. Like, you know when you get, like, you have mix-up between people? I'll tell you guys a funny story, and my friend's probably going to fucking kick my ass for sharing this story, because it is so embarrassing. So, I won't say her name. Because she'll kill me. But anyway, we will call her, I don't know. I'll probably slip up and say her name, so I won't even bother making a fake name. I'll try not to say her name, though. So we go out this one night, okay? We used to go all the time. And, like, this was back in the day when we used to dabble in a bit of everything, you know, if you know what I mean. And we went out and we'd met these guys. Like, I don't really recall what happened because I was fucking, like, tanked, right? I was tanked. And we went out and, like, my friend, she would, like, give a number out to everyone because she, like, went to school with everyone. And there was this guy that was there and she was like, oh, you know, she's like, he's so hot, like, I want to go home with him and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, whatever. And I remember this one point during the night, they came over and they were like getting numbers and stuff. And this guy was like, oh, this is my number. And she was writing in her phone. And then we all ended up absolutely wasted. We decided to walk home, and we're going back to one of the guys. The two guys, they actually live together. This is another one of those times where you like end up just being stuck with the guy's best friend, even if you don't want anything to do with it. You just sort of, oh, this was a messy night. Messy. This is so embarrassing. Anyway, so we had to go past my house. We wanted to pick up, I'll say, a bottle of vodka, okay? We wanted to pick up a bottle of vodka. And so we got a taxi. And she was like, and like back where we're from, it's really hard to get a taxi. Like, taxis are impossible. And she was like, you know what? I was out the other weekend. I got this taxi driver's number, and he has a maxi taxi. So we'll just call him directly, and he can come pick us up. So I was like, okay, let's do that. So we're all sitting there. Like, there was 3 guys there at the time. One of them was friends with like an ex of mine, like used to work with him, but like we were still friends. And so this taxi driver comes and picks us up, and then we go over to my house, and my friend's being a tool, and she's in the car, and she's like, and this taxi driver's like, he's fairly overweight, he's bald on top, he has this really long ponytail, and she was like holding his ponytail, like twirling it in her fingers and like flirting with him. She was being a dick, right? But like not saying anything nasty, but she was just like flirting with him for a laugh. And anyway, so he picks us up and he drops us off at this other house, and she hooks up with this guy. I get stuck with the other dude, but like nothing happened. Like I was pretty drunk. Like I was badly drunk. The other fellow had already left. And I remember in the morning, I was so unwell. And my friend comes in and she's like, hey, gotta go. Such and such's dad's here. And I thought that I was like, oh my God, the dad's going to think bad things. So I'm like, I'm just going to wait here for the dad to go. And then I tried to ring a taxi because I'm like, okay, I'm going to leg it out the window, and then dad won't see me. Like, he's not going to know, I'm going to get out of here. So I ring a taxi, and then I realized I don't even fucking know where I am. And I was not going to do, like, I was feeling hungover. I needed to vomit. It was so bad. And then he walks in and he's like, oh, hey, I'll give you a lift, because he knew I was ringing this taxi. And I was like, oh, okay then. So anyway, we go to leave, and he has this, like, XR8 ute, like, hotted up to the max. And, like, back then, like, I think we were only, like, I think I was maybe, like, 20 or something, and like he's driving around like a $60,000 car, like a $60,000 ute, right? Nice as, and he's like, whatever you do, don't throw up in the ute. And I remember like he's driving, and I was like shifting all my good shit in my bag to one side, like my phone and my wallet and the stuff I wanted to keep, so I could vomit in the other side. Like that's how fucking sick I was. And I was like, he goes, well, if you need to be sick, just let me know, because he could see I was like panicking. I'm like, pull over. And I like opened the door and I threw up on the ground, thank God. But it was so embarrassing, like I can't even. And I remember like this guy was so strange. He's actually married to one of my friends now, which is so awkward. Like we're like not really good friends, we're like acquaintances, and I'm friends with them on Facebook, and noticed like years later they got married and they had kids and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't recognize me. But like he was like, and it was so weird because he messaged my friend. He's like, oh my God, like we need to go out again. Your friend's so cool. And I'm like, what is wrong with him? Like I just power spewed out of his car door. There is something wrong with him. But anyway, so then the next weekend we go out, and I don't know if we were there with them. No, that's right. It was before the weekend. So we hadn't gone out yet. Anyway, his friend, like, my friend, she gets these messages, right? And she's like, oh, I've been messaging with this guy. His name's Matt, right? She's like, I've been messaging with him. And she's like, I think we're going to go out on a date, like on Friday night. And I was like, oh, okay. I think it was Saturday night. She's like, Saturday night we're going to go on a date. And I was like, where are you going to go? And she's like, I don't know. But she said he's kind of being real weird. Like, because he had, like, she said, oh, that's right. Because she says to me, she's like, oh, I need you to, she's like, she was going to message him, right? So he hadn't messaged her yet, and it was like Tuesday or something. She's like, he hasn't messaged me yet. Like, it's weird. I said, just message him. Like, who cares? It doesn't matter if you message him first. And she was going through the numbers, and she's like, oh, which one is it? I said, it's definitely the one that ends in 55. Like, I remember him saying it. Don't fucking listen to me, okay? FYI, when I'm drunk, don't listen to me, okay? And so I was like, all right. It's definitely the 55. She's like, no worries. So she messages him, and he's like messaging back, and he's like, oh yeah, I had a good time on the weekend. Like, you were so much fun, blah blah blah. And she's like, oh okay. This is so fucked. And then they organised to go on this date. And she's like, he's being weird. And I said, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, well, like, I went to ring him oh, no, that's right. She goes, I was texting him. He doesn't really text back much. And then the other day, like, you know, she asked him, like, what the deal was. And he goes, oh, you know, I'm not really into texting. Like, I could prefer to talk to people on the phone. And we're like, what the fuck? That's weird. Like, that is so weird for a guy being 21 and preferring to, like, talk over the phone. Like, weird. And she's like, I know, right? And then they're ready to go to this date. It was for Friday night, the date was. And then he messages her on Friday morning and he's like, look, I can't go tonight. Can we reschedule for tomorrow night? And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, that's fine. Because he got called into work. Or no, it was on for the Friday night. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. No worries. Anyways, then Friday lunchtime, she gets a message from Matt, like a different message, right? And this, yeah, you're onto something. She gets a message from Matt and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I haven't messaged you. He's like, I lost my phone on the weekend. I found it. It was down like between the couch. He said, like, when I was drunk, like, I couldn't find it. It went flat. I finally found it. Hey, are we going to go out tomorrow night? And she's like, what? What do you mean? And like, could not work. And he's like, whose number have you messaged me off? And he's like, I haven't. Like, what are you talking about? And we're like, what the fuck? And I said to my friend, I'm like, you need to delete that number. She's like, who the fuck have I been messaging? Like, who have I been messaging? Anyways, we could not work out who it was. And we thought maybe it was the other guy. And I'm like, hey, don't blame drunk me for, like, sober me for what drunk me did, okay? I can't be held responsible. So anyway, we end up going out. It's Friday night. We're like, let's all go out, you know. And we get wasted again. And this time I'm like, we're going to go back to her house, all right? And so we're waiting on a taxi. No taxi comes. And she'd saved in her phone, she'd saved the number under fucknose in her phone because she had no idea who it was. So she was like, she saved it under fucknose in her phone. And I'm like, all right, we'll work out who it is. Like, eventually we're going to find out. And then she goes, let's ring the taxi driver again. Like, he'll come and get us because we couldn't get this taxi. And I'm like, okay. So she puts in the number, like, she gets out his card and she types in the number and she presses send and it comes up fuck nose. And she's like, ah! Like, just throws the phone and she's, like, stomping on it. And I'm like, oh, my God, it was so bad. It was so fucking bad. So it was a taxi driver the whole time. So then we had to, like, walk home because we weren't facing that problem. So bad. It was so bad. Like, honest to God. Imagine, though, if he wasn't called into work that night, like, and, she went out on that fucking date. And I know what she's like. She'd be too nice to say anything, so she would have went on that date. She would have sat down with that taxi driver. She would have fed him with a fork. Like, she would have done whatever she had to do. There's no way in hell she would have said anything because she's way too nice. But I'm telling you, she's fucking drunk, so she gets in, like, the messiest situations. Like, oh, my God. Such a mess. I can't even explain, but it was dreadful. Like, we've had some pretty wild nights, but that week was definitely one of the most wild. I just remember, like, I don't know what made me so confident. Like, oh no, I remember that's definitely his number. Like, I remember seeing 55, and she's like, there's not a single fucking 5 in his number. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, my bad. Oh, it was so bad. Anyway, that story I'll keep playing anyways.
Somebody fought Troy Wickline. I don't know. And I guess I drove and dropped them off at the park. And I was at school the next day and I got called to the office. And they tried to charge me with mob assault because I dropped all the boys off at the park. And then they ended up, like, beating someone's ass. High school was crazy. That whole, wow. Yeah. And then after that, like, James, obviously. And that was not good. I remember finding out, like, he was cheating on me because I went to school at Paul Mitchell in the beach.
Wait, was that a James? There was definitely another guy then, yeah? Hold on, let's just play that again.
Like, James, obviously.
James. Number 6 is James.
Not good. I remember finding out, like, he was cheating on me because I went to school at Paul Mitchell in the beach, and
there you go.
He, like, took my car to a girls' field hockey game and slept with Nikki Howell. And I remember Alexis Cousin called me and was like, hey, just so you know, James is here right now with Nikki. And I go, what? And she goes, yeah, she's...
So even 10 years after high school, she's still putting people in the shit. Like, Alexis Couson called me and told me that my boyfriend was sleeping with Nikki. How?
Sitting on his lap. So I called James and I was like, so what are you doing? He was like, not much, I'm just at the field hockey game. I said, oh yeah, with who? He goes, oh, you know, just some friends. And I was like, yeah, who?
She's literally picking, like, earwax out of her ear right now. It's like she's turning it in her ear and then she's about to put it in her mouth. I shit you not.
And he's like, oh, just friends. And I was like, oh, so you're not with Nikki? She's not sitting on your lap right now. And he got so scared. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yep. And then after James, I met Terry. And that's when everything went downhill.
So after James, there was Terry. So that's 7 with Terry. I swear to God, there was an 8th person, though. So then there's obviously Mel and Hale. So that's 9. So I wonder who else there is. Why is she straight first and name dropping people? First names would have sufficed. None of the 5 viewers know what the fuck she's talking about, so why does that last name matter? I think she's actually talking to her high school friend Emily on here giving these confessions, but absolutely does not need to put last names down. It's like she's trying to start drama.
He gave me the best gift in the world, but still, what an asshole. And I thought it was funny that right after we broke up, Terry was like hanging out with everyone from Granby.
So there she's saying, like, he gave me the best gift in the world. So there she's saying that Terry is the dad. And then literally the next day she's saying that Terry isn't the dad, that he just raised her. What?
Like, and solely, like, Austin, Devin, Joshua, like, all the younger guys. And I was like, you're literally 23 hanging out with, like, 17-year-olds. 18-year-olds. He would, like, buy them alcohol and stuff. Crazy times. Crazy, crazy times.
Yeah.
I think I just liked Terry's car, to be honest. I really liked his Subaru, and then he wrecked it. It was really crazy. That whole situation, like, oh my God, I cannot believe we're, like, hashing out so much high school shit right now.
No, only you are,
Oh,
darling.
Kelsey's here now. Kelsey can join in on the loveliness of high school.
Now we go through all the names again.
Oh, shit. It feels like so long ago. He doesn't live in VA anymore. He left, like, he got out of the military and he left. And now he lives in San Diego and tattoos. Oh, Kelsey, we just went through so much shit. We just hashed out so much stuff. I was like, airing dirty laundry. Yeah? Yeah. Terry gave you an awful tattoo? Sounds about right. Now he's really good, but...
How does she know all this stuff about Now and Terry? Like, yeah, she stalks her exes too. That's exactly right. So it doesn't seem any of those excuses are love or interest. She also talks on here about how she's been tattooing as well, and I thought that was weird because I've never seen her tattoo anyone.
I love you, sweetie. Yeah, 15 minutes.
You missed one of my drunk stories,
15,
Caroline.
not 50.
Couple,
15.
actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you're kind of in the other room, too, so I couldn't really hear you. Yeah, no, we just hashed out so much stuff. You missed all of it, Kelsey. Like, I aired my dirty laundry. I rehashed my rap sheet. Would be surprised by a lot of the people. I just went over my body counts, like everything. I should. Memories of, like, parties and stuff like that, like...
Kelsey's like, fuck, she's seen me, like we all do when we join.
I could have probably ruined a lot of relationships in high school with the information I knew, but I didn't want to.
Because it'd probably ruin your reputation, too.
I didn't know myself until I started getting tattoos all over my body, you know, and then I came into myself. Terry, God, gave you an awful tattoo. That makes me upset. I'm sorry. But yeah, we went through a lot of shit just now. That's funny. I wonder how many people would be shocked. Like, I kind of want to, like, create a group chat with a bunch of the girls and just be like, confession time. What?
Do you remember last time they created a chat with a heap of girls and it was confession time? Because I do. I remember exactly what happened.
Want to, like, introduce me to people, right? So when I first moved there, I talked to Jamie when he was dating Amanda, and I had no clue that he had a whole ass girlfriend. I'm serious. It would be so funny. Like, I don't know. I think it would be hilarious. And then obviously Alex King, slept with him. I slept with John Paxson. I can't remember. I just told them. I don't know if I can actually pinpoint if I did or not, but I remember at one point, like, talking to Craig Sullivan. Like, just for a little bit. And, like, flirting back and forth. And, like, then I went over to his house and, like, hung out with him for a little bit. But I can't remember if we actually slept together or not. Like, I want to say we did, but I don't remember that one specifically. His first couple tattoos. But I mean, I understand that, because now that I tattoo, I know that, like, it's hard. Like, you think it's gonna be easy because it's like pen and paper, right? But it's like skin tugs. It, like, pulls a little bit, so sometimes you have to, like, stabilize. But yeah, we went through some dirty laundry. And I will say, JP, that was all Emily. Emily was like, you should do this. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, Ike and him are going to come over, and Ike and I are going to go hang out in my room so you can hang out. And I was like, okay, what do you mean? Wow. So much secrets.
Is she talking about the micro shading shit? I think that was supposed to say microblading. Has it been an hour? It feels like 10. How has she rambled on for this for about an hour? She goes on for about 30 minutes. It goes for 30 minutes. I think it's just because we've been chatting in between. But she rehashes it over like 3 times. It's kind of weird. Yeah. She has name dropped. We've got Alexis Cowson or Cousin, Nikki Howell, Amber Worthington, Jamie, Alex King, John Paxton, Brandon Worthington, Craig Sullivan, James and Terry. Like, probably should have dropped all those names. I'm sure, like, you could probably find James's last name off Alex King's list, you know, Greg.
And nobody knew them when I was there. I was real low key, guys. I was real low key.
Sure.
Mainly because I didn't want to get caught after Jamie, so I was like, I gotta start watching what I'm doing now. God, who else? I'm trying to remember. There was one other person. I briefly talked to David Durensky, but it was like for like 2 days, because then I realized that like Emily kind of had like a little crush on him before she started dating Ike, and so I was like, well, I'm not gonna mess with that, because they were like really good friends in English class, and we all had English class together, so This is crazy to rehash. Like, there was so much shit in high school and nobody knew about me. And so when people would get mad at me for things, I was like, if y'all really knew, though, if y'all really knew what was going on, you'd be shocked.
Isaac? So I can say it.
It makes me want to, like, rewind and, like, watch it on, like, a movie theater screen. Like, that was just so crazy. Oh, yeah, because as soon as I slept with Jamie, all of a sudden they all came out the woodwork trying to message me, and I was like,
Because they knew you were easy. You didn't care if people had girlfriends.
Okay.
Stop it.
And my house was, like, right around the corner from the school, so, like, people would come over to my house while my parents were at work and skip class with me at my house. I remember at one point...
How much of this shit that supposedly really happened actually happened? I wish one of the girls she went to school with would spill the truth. Well, she's saying that none of these girls knew that she was with all these people. She's saying, like, she slept with them all on the down low and never told her best friends. What? But she's mad Hal was still with his fiancée the day before their date, but ruins others' relationships. Weird. Different rules.
The boys were, like, having a full-blown fucking football game with an orange. An orange, like the fruit, an orange. They were having a football game in my living room. Just crazy to me, like, crazy. You remember the dugout had, like, the worst reputation? Like, everyone was like, yeah, people go over there and girls will give guys head in the dugout. Like, we were so childish.
Courtney's nickname was probably Dugout.
Oh.
I know, the orange thing, I was like, why is that even such a thing? Like, who hasn't had, like, whenever you're around boys, they're playing football and doing dumb shit. Like, that's just how they were in high school. Like, oh my God, I can't even believe that went down as a memory. It's kind of weird.
Craziness. Legit shook over how much stuff happened during high school. Whew. Fun times.
Did you find him? Abby said, I'm sad, lol. He married Emily and they look happy. Wait, who? What? Alex King has his friends. It's not the same Emily she's talking about, is it? Oh my God. Damn it. Why has he got his friends hidden? You should try John Paxton. No, I feel like Brandon Worthington would really want to see this. Or his sister.
Oh, and now we, like, all have kids.
But honestly, though, if Amber Worthington knew that her brother is doing this and he's so repulsive, as she claims, like, shout out to her for being an awesome sister and, like, pulling a bird for him, you know?
Oh. It would be really funny to, like, have all of our kids go to the same high school and see who liked who. Like, there'd be so much family stuff. Like, that'd be hilarious.
He probably is happily married. He's looking back at him like, whoa, whoa, shivers. Mufasa.
And now Emily's having twins. I had no idea that she was having twins. That's so cool.
Is that Emily as in Alex
Watch her
Kings?
end up with 2 boys. I'm praying that she ends up with some girls. Because that girl deserves a girl. Yeah, my kids can...
Wait, so Emily is on the thing with her. That's one Emily. And then they're talking about another Emily, and they're like, Emily's now having twins. Is that the same one? Is that Alex King's Emily? I need to know, because why would you come out and confess that you're sleeping with someone if you're still friends with their missus or whatever? Like, shouldn't that just be a story that's left dead and buried? Like, obviously he hasn't told anyone at this point for a reason. He probably doesn't want to tell people, and she's out here just dumping it.
Right? You're like, nope, not the baseball boys. Nope. No, ma'am. Not you.
Okay, Juliana.
Oh. Shyla would be a trip. She would be a freaking trip. She's so much more confident than I was. So, like, I know in high school, she's going to be the girl that's like...
I have to know as well.
She's pretty, and she's going to go, I know. I can just tell. I'm so happy for Emily. Like, and guys, I watched Nolan be born. And that was the scariest moment of my fucking life because Emily lost a lot of blood. Like, at one point, I remember the nurses, like, rushed in. There was, like, 12 of them.
I don't like it when there's two people named Emily. It's really confusing because I can't tell if Emily's her best friend or if her best friend is with Alex King or if her best friend is just the Emily on there and then the other Emily is the one having twins. Like, I don't understand.
And I was so scared for her. Like, I was literally bawling my eyes out. I called my parents and I was like, Emily just had Nolan, and then they told me I had to leave. And, like, I was literally waiting in the waiting room until, like, 3 a.m.
Oh, she has a finger in her mouth again. Oh, yucky.
And he came out, like, the second he came out, I was like, it looks like Ike. He is Ike's twin when he was a baby, but...
Okay. Wait, so Emily stayed with Ike? And that's obviously not the same Emily that's with Alex King, so that's a different one. So is Alex King's wife having the twins, or is it this Emily that's with Ike? This is really messy. You're not wrong.
Now he's, like, Emily's full-blown twin. But he looked just like it.
No, I think there's... I don't know, actually. If there might be 3. Fucks me.
His daddy. When he was first born. Hey, Helena. You want to see how my throat's healing? I mean, healed now.
Her tattooist just got on.
Really nice. You guys should follow Draconian Grace right here. She's a phenomenal freaking tattoo artist. And she did your girl good. She did your girl good. Where did you leave off, Serena? When I was going over my rap sheet? I was going over my bodies. Okay, so I'll say it again. So night, Courtney.
So I left at this point because I was like, I cannot fucking listen to that again. We just went through the count and she wants to go again. Really? I know, that's exactly right. She says it again. Like, kill me now. I stopped. I was like, oh God. We already got, like, we might have missed a name though, but I couldn't handle it. I just could not handle it. But it's just the weirdest thing. I can't imagine going on live and then sharing the names of every single person that I have ever been with. It's wild to me. I just can't even, I don't even know if I don't know. A rap sheet. Yeah, it's her rap sheet. Her rap sheet, her body count and her rap sheet. Stop it. So I do have one more video that we could chat about, but it is a Juliana one, so I don't know if you guys want to do it now or if you'd prefer to wait until tomorrow. Either way is fine. I don't know how late it is. It's probably like super late there. I know yesterday's, like, we did one yesterday and it went for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. But I knew, but it's not a Courtney one, it's a Juliana one.